It has been a little over a year since the city of New Orleans created the Office of Homeless Services and Engagement.
It was created to come up with a long-term solution to homelessness and to rid the city of encampments by 2025. So we're not too far off from that mark. But where are we on that timeline? Leigha McNeil is joining us now. Good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. Well, in short, yes, we are on track to ridding the city of encampments by 2025. At least that's according to the city's director of homeless services. Now, there is a noticeable progress with 2 major encampments closing within the last few months, but there's still more that this small team of organizations has to do.
After years of complaints, overdoses, and deaths, longtime sources of suffering at the Treme and Tchoupitoulas encampments are no more. Between the two, just under 100 people now have roofs over their heads.
I think I have a lot of wins.
It's a notable accomplishment for Nathaniel Fields, being the first director of homeless services for the city of New Orleans.
Am I finished? Am I good at where I'm at? I'm never comfortable with homelessness, ever.
According to recent data from the city of New Orleans, there are just under 1,400 people experiencing homelessness in Orleans and Jefferson parishes, with roughly 440 people sleeping on the streets of the Crescent City.
It's a lot of pocketed encampments throughout New Orleans. I mean, some of the largest ones, when we look at the Callio Corridor, O.C. Haley, some that are in the French Quarter that's underneath the wharf. We deal with one person at a time, connecting them to services and then transition them.
However, it's a lot more involved than that.
We don't just put people in apartments and say goodbye.
Martha Cagle is the executive director of Unity of Greater New Orleans. The nonprofit partners with dozens of organizations to secure housing and more. They're doing it all on a $15 million federal grant.
So that really involves taking them to the doctor, taking them to the mental health clinic, taking them to substance use treatment if that's an issue, getting them disability benefits, getting them jobs, and doing all the things that are necessary in order for people who have oftentimes, significant mental health issues to become stably housed.
But there are a few questions here.
Is this a sustainable mode of ridding the city of these encampments and getting people into homes?
Yeah, HUD has guaranteed that the monies that we're using for these vouchers is going to be sustained. Right now, they have guaranteed, $15 million is for a 3-year period, 420 individuals.
Okay, so where's the rest of that money going to come from? Because we have more than 420 people who are unhoused.
Correct. So we'll be patching other resources together. There are other vouchers that exist as well. We also have the rapid rehousing dollars. Everybody doesn't need to have a voucher. Some people need a couple of months' rent they can sustain on their own. So every resource will be different for every individual.
Another question. Is this really working?
It's one thing to get a person housed, it's another thing to keep them housed.
The city says all 91 people from the Tchoupitoulas and Treme encampments are doing well and still housed today. Cagle says if you compare that 100% success rate on a larger scale to the work they do year-round, their success rate is still high.
We find that 95% of the people that we place stay stably housed. There are some people who it's especially challenging, and we might have to try many times to get them housed.
Field says they are juggling a lot, to say the least, but he says it's paying off.
The more and more we're doing, we're seeing more and more people who are stepping to the table because they're actually seeing it move. And also, that is a healing process. We're healing the community, we're healing the unhoused, we're changing the mindsets of some of the businesses. We're getting people who want to step to the table and see New Orleans be New Orleans again.
To help with their ongoing efforts, the city has launched the Home for Good program. It acts as a flex fund to help cover the things that these federal housing vouchers cannot. Field says that they are currently working to increase addiction and substance abuse aid by expanding the time that people can get help after they are clean. We expect to learn more about that initiative in the coming months. Brandon.
All right, Leah, thank you. Pretty interesting there. Also, the fact that they're kind of piecemealing these grants together to pay for a lot of this stuff.
That's a lot of work, especially on one person.
For the team, they're working with the city is just 4 people, and they're working about a dozen nonprofits. So a very small group of people tasked with getting all these people off the streets, clearing these encampments, and keeping people in these homes.
Well, and it's good to see this behind the scenes because people are just saying, why isn't this encampment cleared yet? Why do we still have this here? But it's not as simple as just moving out, trash and debris. It's not that. These are people's lives, and you need to to create a structure so that they don't become homeless again, which takes, like you said, the
takes
education,
time,
the mental health.
And it's an individualized approach. They're taking it person by person. So all of the nearly 1,400 people who are sleeping on the streets and in shelters, they're working with each and every person. So it's just going to take some time to get it all done.
Well, Leigha, thank you. We do
Good
appreciate
story
your
here.
reporting. One of the few reporters in the city who continues to stay on top of this. We do thank you for that. Next year on the